Hello everyone, in this video we're going to talk more with rate of change. So I'll drop a link for the last video. In that I talked a little bit about the way that some of these lines we may see will go, whether they're kind of steep or a little bit more flat. A steeper line will typically have a greater rate of change versus one that looks a little bit more flat. There is a special name, a more condensed name for the rate of change, and that is slope. The slope of a line is its rate of change. And slope is calculated as vertical change over horizontal change. Or more commonly, rise over run. Rise is that change in y, the vertical change, over the run, which is the horizontal, or the change in x. So you can use any 2 points on a line to find its slope. To put this into more, I would say, numbery perspective kind of terms, here's how we can calculate slope. Remember, it's rise over run. And here's how it would look another way. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we use subscripts here. These are called subscripts. We use these to distinguish between 2 points. This refers to the first ordered pair that we're dealing with, and then this refers to the second. The first x value, the first y value, the second x value, and the second y value. We'll take the difference in the y's and then divide it by the difference in the x's. Now just keep in mind that the x coordinate you use first in the denominator must belong to the same ordered pair as the y coordinate you use first in the numerator. Because if we end up with a miscalculation, we did something wrong. But let's take a look. We're going to find slope 2 different ways. We're going to look at it from a graph, and then we'll look at it given some points without the graph, because here I went ahead and showed you the points. What we're going to do is we're going to find the slope of this line given these 2 points. Here I have my first x value and my first y value. And then over here, I respectfully have my second x and second y. The difference in the y values over the difference in the x values. So that's 3 minus 1 over 4 minus negative 1. Subtraction of a negative results in addition. So this is 2 over 4 plus 1. My slope here is 2 over 5, and this is positive, and that makes sense because this line goes up. If a line were to go down, you have a negative slope. In the event of a positive slope, from left to right, when we read graphs, this line goes up. That's how we can find a slope visually from a graph. Let's find the slope using, or when we're given 2 distinct coordinates. And I got 2 different examples here for us to work out. Sometimes it can help if you label what your x and y values are, so it makes the calculation a little bit easier. Here we're going to do 7 minus 5 over 4 minus 2. So the difference in the y values over the difference in the x values. That gives me 2 over 2, which is 1. So this is a line that goes up with a slope of 1. Let's look at this last one. Again, labeling does help, just so as to avoid confusion. This would be negative 2 minus 4 over 3 minus negative 1. This is negative up top, so right off the bat, this result will most likely be negative. 3 minus negative 1. This reduces to negative 3 over 2, and yes, this would be a negative slope. So this line would be going down versus this one that goes up. So we can also analyze the graphs of horizontal and vertical lines, but we'll save that for the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.